You drop a standard replacement battery into your truck, tighten down the terminals, and close the hood. For decades, that was the entire repair process. But fast forward exactly 1 month, and your truck is sitting completely dead in the driveway. The engine won't even crank. Worse, the brand new battery you just bought is physically ruined. The lead and acid inside that box were perfectly fine when you bought them. The failure happened because you didn't tow the truck to a dealership and pay them a $200 fee to digitally register that battery to the onboard computer. Modern auto manufacturers have placed a digital padlock over your engine bay. They use proprietary software blocks to flag basic physical maintenance as unauthorized activity. The absolute simplest driveway repair has been quietly converted into a mandatory subscription fee. In response, a growing network of mechanics is actively tearing out the digital code and rewiring their rigs to bypass the manufacturers completely. Pop the hood on a late model Ford or BMW, and you are no longer looking at a traditional charging system. This schematic shows a highly regulated network governed by a battery management system. This node sits right between your alternator and your battery, acting directly as a digital toll booth. If you buy a replacement battery yourself, the computer will refuse to recognize it. Because the system hasn't received the official password from a dealership laptop, the smart alternator treats your fresh battery exactly like the dying one you just threw away. It force feeds the system with a massive, unregulated flow of electrical current. This intentional overcharging physically boils the internal components. It destroys your $200 investment in a matter of weeks. Automakers have digitized the wrench and kept the password for themselves. They've designed a system that purposefully destroys third-party hardware to enforce absolute reliance on the dealer network. Veteran mechanics are refusing the extortion. They are opening up the engine bays, ripping out the factory computers, and throwing the smart alternators in the trash. In their place, true analog purists are dropping in an older piece of tech, an aftermarket one-wire alternator. This diagram illustrates the bypass. It requires physically severing the digital umbilical cord connecting the engine to the dashboard. You delete the multicolored data lines and run a single heavy gauge wire straight from the back of the alternator directly to the battery's positive terminal. Inside this analog alternator, a physical mechanical regulator valve takes over the job of the fragile computer nodes. It senses voltage drops entirely through physical resistance. When the battery drains, the pathway mechanically opens up to supply more charge. When the battery is full, the resistance naturally pushes back, automatically throttling the voltage down. There are no data lines involved, no battery management modules, and absolutely no software updates required. By trusting physical laws over proprietary software, owners are taking back complete control of their machines. That level of independence terrifies the modern automotive industry. Imagine your alternator goes bad while you are out off-roading, miles away from any commercial garage or dealership. If you're running a one-wire system, you don't need a massive commercial lift or a $3,000 dealership diagnostic scanner to tell you what went wrong. You just unbolt the alternator with a basic hand wrench, drop a new one in, and drive home. Your retrofitted engine bay goes back to needing only a few physical wires to successfully run, spark, and charge. Automakers want you to feel overwhelmed when you look under the hood. They intentionally overcomplicate the charging system to drain your bank account and force you to ask permission to use the machine you already paid for. But veteran problem solvers are rejecting the ransom. By stripping away the code and relying on pure mechanical physics, they are proving we don't have to be tenants in our own vehicles. They are returning the modern engine to a state of uncompromised reliability.